Okay, so in our last class, which topic we have discussed? Any guess? In last topic. No? Last class మనం ఏం డిస్కస్ చేసుకున్నాం?
Sir, the Factory Act 1948.
Yes, Amit?
Sir, the Factory Act 1948. The last class it was three schedule 1, 2, and 3 हुआ था.
We have seen schedules also. Not right. I don't
हाँ,
think we have discussed schedules.
तो schedules 1, 2 and 3 जो health मतलब schedule 1 में जो था process in all industrial activities schedule 1 and the inspecting stuff schedule 2 and health schedule 3 ये सब हुआ था.
No, no. Amit, thanks. I mean, you have remembered the topic, but these are chapters actually. So you have to say chapter, not schedules. When we talk about schedules,
Oh, sorry,
after the
chapter,
chapter,
sir. Yes, sir.
yes, thanks. No, that is okay. Initially, that confusion will be there. These called as chapters. Okay, great. So I'll just take a quick recap. So in last class, we started Act 1948. In that, we have covered a few chapters. In the chapters, we have seen few definitions like adults. Okay. Then we have seen who is mean by the competent person. Is it fine, or I need to zoom it a bit? I could see it is a bit lower. Hope now it is fine.
Sir, kindly zoom it,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, I have done this. Is it fine now? Or you want me to zoom it
Yes,
further?
sir. It is
I
okay, sir.
think
Yeah.
200 is
Yes.
fine.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, 200 is fine. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. We have seen competent person. When I say competent person, who is competent person? Either a person or a institute is recognized by the inspector of factories to do inspections, tests, and audits. Okay. And we have seen what is meant by hazardous process. Okay, when I say process, the processes which are specified or which are in first schedule of Factories Act. So once we go through the chapter, then in the last we'll see the schedules. Okay. Then we have seen the manufacturing process. It is nothing but making or altering or repairing or ornamenting or finishing or packing, etc. All will come under manufacturing process. Then we have seen work action as well. It means basically a person's or employee directly or by through any agency, including a contractor, with or without the knowledge of a principal employer, where for the remuneration or not in manufacturing process. It means a person is directly employed or who came through a contractor working in the manufacturing facility. Okay. Then we have seen factory, which is nothing but where 10 or more people working with the aid of power, where 20 or more workers are working in a manufacturing process without, is called as a factory. Then we have general duties of occupier. When I say occupier, who is the owner of the facility, right? Who is having ultimate control on the safety actions or safety processes. Okay. What is the duties? So where he has to provide the plant systems and factory or safe. So basically, he has to provide a safe and healthy workplace to the people. Okay. Then whatever the machines or equipments he is giving, those must be safe, and he has to maintain all the places of the work in the factory. Conditions are safe and also without any risk. And also, you need to maintain and monitor the working environment. Okay, these are the few. How like we do environmental monitoring. Then we have seen duties of the manufacturers. This is also quite similar to the occupier. Then we have seen inspection staff. There are different types of inspection staff. Mostly, chief inspectors or gazette officers will be act as an inspector. So here, the district magistrate shall be an inspector. Expertise on that, and they can make examinations of the premises, plant, machinery, articles, or substances. They can have a
Sir,
power
your
to.
screen is not visible, sir.
Is it serious? I'll share once again. Is it visible now?
यस सर।
Yes.
सर आपका आवाज भी कट कट के आ रहा है, मतलब कभी कभी कट रहा है, पूरा क्लियर नहीं।
I mean, is सबका वैसी है or any one person is having that issue? Everybody is having same issue or only few people?
No, sir, clear. Clear.
Okay. So, okay, fine. So I request who is having that, I mean, the audio issue, just please rejoin or check your internet connectivity. So my
ओके
internet, as per me, it is good only. We'll see. Still, if the people are facing, I can shift to other network. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. So when we talk about the power of the inspectors, okay, they have power to do the examination of the plants, machineries, and also the substances. Also, they have power to inquire into any accidents or dangerous occurrences, and also they have power require the production of any prescribed register or any other documentation related to the factory. In the sense, they have right to ask or power to ask or to see the any document of which is relating to the factory. Seize or take copies of any register or record or other document of any portion if it is required. Okay, so they can seize or they can take the copies of any registers and direct to the occupier that any premises or part of the anything laying there shall be left undisturbed, okay, or generally or particularly in respects of so long as necessary for purposes of any examination under this specific clause. They can direct or guide the occupiers in part of any such long awaited or any equipments which are not using from years. They can ask for the examinations. Then they can take the photographs. That is also they have a power. Okay, and make the examination. They can record as well. In the case of any article or substance found in any premises, being an article or substance which appears to him or having caused or likely to cause any danger to health and safety of the workers, direct it to dismantled or subjected to any process or test not so as to damage or destroy its unless the same is in the circumstances necessary. So if they found any such machineries, articles, or premises which is having any danger to people, so they can recommend that to dismantle or take it out from the services. Then we have seen certifying surgeons also. Certifying surgeon is nothing but who is appointed by the state government, is a qualified medical practitioner. He will be acting as certifying surgeon. Okay, and here also we have few duties. They used to do the examination and certification of young persons under this act. Okay, when we say young, who is above the 14 years and below 18 years of age. Okay, those are called as young workers. We have discussed, I think, SA 8000. So where young workers can be employed with a educational as a condition. They should have their schooling has to be continued. Then following that, they can be hired for working. Okay. And the examination of person engaged in the factories or dangerous occupations or processes that may be prescribed. They can also do the examinations of the people where the people are employed in the dangerous occupations, which means the dangerous activities. Okay, the hazardous activities or processes. Okay, the exercising of such medical supervision or may prescribed for the any factory or a class or description of the factories. Causes of illness have occurred within the reasonable to believe that due to the nature of manufacturing process carried out. It depends on, they used to verify, okay, why this specific disease or specific illness has come. Okay, reason to change the manufacturing processes, and also young persons are about to be employed in any work which is likely to cause injury or death. Okay. Okay, then we have seen health chapter. So cleanliness, I think this we have not started, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so when talk about chapter 3, which is health, where if you ask me for a safety officer, this chapter is important. Okay, so when talk about section 11, it talks about the cleanliness. Every factory shall be kept clean and free from if you are arising from any drain, privacy, or nuisance, or in a particular, the accumulation of dirt and refuse shall be removed daily by sweeping or any other effective method from the floors. Okay, and the benches of the workrooms or from the staircases, passages, and disposed as in a suitable manner. It is simple that we have to clean our premises on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and it's a day-to-day basis. All the work areas, workbenches, workrooms, etc. Then the floor of every workroom shall be cleaned at least once in every week by washing using a disinfect where necessary or by some other effective methods. So at least once in a week the floor has to be cleaned with a disinfect or where any other effective methods. Then where the floor is liable to become wet in the course of any manufacturing process to such extent as is capable of being drained, effective means of drainage shall be provided and maintained. ओके, बेसिकली तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट क्या बोलता है, एटलीस्ट जो भी जो हमारी प्रीमिसेस है, वर्क बेंचेस है, नहीं तो जो रहने का रूम है, ये तो साफ सफाई करना होगा, एटलीस्ट हफ्ते में एक बार उसको डिसइंफेक्ट करना है. ठीक है. अब तीसरा पॉइंट क्या है, जो भी ऑपरेशन की वजह से और एक्टिविटी की वजह से जो पानी पानी गिरता है, जो स्लिपरी सरफेस होने के लिए जो चांस होता है, उसके लिए हम सुटेबल प्रोविजन बनाना होता है. मतलब जो पानी गिरता है, नहीं तो ऑयल कुछ गिरने के लिए चांस है, दूसरा कुछ गिरने के लिए चांस है, उसको सही तरीके से वो ड्रेन पे जाने का और उसको ड्राई करने के लिए जो भी ज़रूरत है वैसा हम लोग फैसिलिटीज़ करना पड़ेगा. Okay. So as I mentioned, it is liable to become a wet. So basically, if you see engineering industries or any specific water treatment plants or any other areas, so there might be a chance of becoming wet. In such cases, we have to ensure that we should provide a proper provisions in place so that the water can be drained off. Okay. Then all inside walls and partitions, all ceilings or tops of the rooms, always wall sides and top passages or states where it is to be painted. Then the within the washable water paint or varnished or painted to be varnished at least once in every period of 5 years. Okay. हमको అట్లీస్ట్ 5 साल के अंदर एक बार పెయింట్ करना है. ఇవేంటంటే ద వాల్స్ ఇంటర్నల్ వాల్స్ ఇవన్నీ కూడాను వాషబుల్ వాటర్ పెయింట్స్. ఇవి మనం అట్లీస్ట్ 5 సంవత్సరాలకు ఒకసారి మనం పెయింట్ వేయించుకోవాలి. ఓకే. దాంతో పాటుగా ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ ఏం చెప్పాము, ప్రతిరోజు కూడాను డస్ట్ మురికి అట్లాంటివి క్లీన్ చేస్తూ ఉండాలి. అట్లీస్ట్ వారానికి ఒకసారి ఫ్లోర్ అనేది డిటర్జెంట్స్ యూజ్ చేసుకొని డిస్ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ చేసుకోవాలి. ఎక్కడైతే పాయింట్ 3 వాటర్ పడే ఛాన్స్ ఉందో, ఫ్లోర్ వెట్ అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంటే ఒక తడి ప్రదేశాన్ని క్రియేట్ చేసే ఛాన్స్ ఉన్నాయో మన ఆపరేషన్స్ కానీ మన ఎక్విప్మెంట్స్ కానీ లేదంటే మనం చేసే యాక్టివిటీ వల్ల ఎక్కడైతే తడి ప్రదేశం
సార్
అనేది ఏర్పడుతుందో. యా
సార్ సిటిఓ సిటిఈ అవి ఏ సెక్షన్ కిందకి వస్తాయి సార్?
సిటిఓస్ అవి మనకి ఎన్విరాన్మెంటల్ ప్రొటెక్షన్ యాక్ట్లో వస్తాయి, దీనిలో రావు. ఇందులో మీకు వచ్చే స్పెసిఫిక్ అంటే లైసెన్స్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్ వస్తుంది.
ఓకే.
ఓకే. సో పాయింట్ 3 ఏంటంటే ఎప్పుడైతే మన ఈ యాక్టివిటీస్ ద్వారా మన ఫ్యాక్టరీ ప్రెమిసెస్లో మనం చేసే ఆపరేషన్ ద్వారా ఒక వెట్ సర్ఫేస్ అంటే ఒక తడి ప్రదేశం అనేది జనరేట్ అవుతుందో క్రియేట్ అవుతుందో వాటికి అనుకూలంగా మనము ఆ ప్రదేశాన్ని ఒక డ్రైన్ ప్రొవిజన్ చేసుకోవటము, లేదంటే దాన్ని డ్రైనేజ్ కనెక్షన్స్ ప్రాపర్గా ఇచ్చుకోవటము, ఆ ప్రదేశాన్ని ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా క్లీన్ చేసుకోవడము, అలాంటివి సదుపాయాలు అనేవి పెట్టుకోవాలి. Okay. Yeah. Then second one. Okay. Here I'll just make it so that it will be easy. Okay. Where they are painted with washable or water paint to be repainted with at least one coat of such paint at least once in every period of 3 years. Okay. Initially we'll make it 5 years. In between at least they should be painted with a washable or at least one coat once in 3 years. So if you ask me, sir, anybody is doing this, I am not sure they are doing, but it is the requirement. Maybe sometimes we do once in a year, or maybe sometimes they would have done at the inauguration day. When after that they have run their factory for 15 years, but no paint has done. Practical issues are there, but this is the requirement. Okay, 3 years and washed at least once in every period of 6 months. So it has to be washed. That's why we are talking about the paint should be a washable, so that we can wash the walls once in 6 months. But it is not applicable for the every industries, where the industries will they have the huge dust or the vapors or the work area gets contaminated on a severe manner, where it gets the walls get dirt there. It might be the people will use to follow to clean the walls. And where they are painted or vanished, where they have smooth impervious surfaces, be cleaned at least once in every period of 14 months by such method as may be prescribed. Even 14 months. Okay. Where the paints are vanished, they have smooth impervious surfaces. Those has to be cleaned. Okay, when I say Pervious surfaces they can absorb. When you say impervious, it is nothing but they won't absorb any water. అంటే అబ్జర్వ్ వాటర్ ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకునే ప్లేసెస్ ని మనం ఇంపర్వియస్ సర్ఫేసెస్ అంటారు. పర్వియస్ సర్ఫేసెస్ అంటే అవి వాటర్ ని అబ్జర్వ్ చేసుకునే సర్ఫేసెస్. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రోడ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ an impervious surface. A land or soil, it is a pervious surface. In any other case, we kept whitewashed or color washed. It is here it is washed, nothing but painted, and the whitewashed or color washed shall be carried out at least once in every period of 14 months. Okay. Then we have all doors and windows frames and other wooden metallic frames or shutters shall be kept painted or varnished, and also painting or varnish shall be carried out at least once in a period of 5 years. Same way, whatever the doors and windows, if it is metallic ones, at least they have to be painted once in 5 years. Okay. The dates of which processes required by the D or carried out shall be entered in a prescribed register. So for this we have to maintain the register. I think we'll see in the forms this specific register where they have to maintain. So if you ask me, in my practical experience, I have not seen any such a register the companies are maintaining. Okay, maybe there are companies who are maintaining as well, but in my experience I have not seen such register. Okay, when it is painted, when it is repainted, when it is washed, okay, etc, etc. So in view of any nature of the operations carried on in a factory or a class or description of factories, or any part of the factory or clause or description of factories, if it is not possible for the occupier to comply with all or any of the provision of subsection 1, the state government may or order exempt such factory or clause description of factories from any of the provisions of the subsection and specify alternative methods for keeping the factory in a clean state. So here, by keeping this point, everybody escape from the above requirements. They may say that, okay, it is not applicable for our process. When you talk about food industries, food processing industries, so there it will definitely required, where because there the hygiene part is very important. So where the engineering industries or other industries, manufacturing industries, maybe it is not necessary. Okay, they can be exempted from the that specific sections. Okay. Then disposal of waste and effluent. So this is also very important section. Disposal of waste. So the effective arrangements shall be made in every factory for the treatment of waste and effluents due to the manufacturing process carried on therein, so as to render them innoxious and also their disposal. So whatever the waste which is generated, it has to be disposed. So what are the different types of waste we generate? What are the different types of waste we generate in the factories?
Again,
non-biodegradable or
Okay.
metallic
yes, solid,
and hazardous waste.
hazardous,
Okay. Okay.
organic waste, inorganic waste,
So is it organic
FTDS,
waste?
ITDS,
No, is it organic waste, hazardous or non-hazardous?
Hazardous.
sir.
Hazardous.
Uh-huh.
Hazardous.
Organic or
Organic waste. Is it hazardous?
no,
Hazardous.
sir, no, sir, no, sir.
It is
Used
non-hazardous.
oil.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Organic waste, no, sir. Non-hazardous, sir.
Organic waste, it is non-hazardous.
Non-hazardous.
Yeah.
सर
Yeah.
सर कल परसों क्लास नहीं था ना?
नहीं हुआ है.
अच्छा
मैं
सर
ट्रैवलिंग
स्टार्टिंग
पे था. हाँ. Yeah, नहीं हुआ है.
स्टार्टिंग में सर थोड़ा लेट से ज्वाइन किए थे।
हाँ ओके
हाँ हाँ
ओके
हाँ okay. So basically broadly we have two types, hazardous and non-hazardous, and also we have biological waste. Okay, so whatever we are telling about this solid or liquid or semi-solid or biogenic or non-biogenic, all will fall under any of these major categories. Either it will fall under hazardous or non-hazardous. When you say bio waste, so those are, even the plant-based bio waste also will be there, but the human bio waste. For example, you have done a treatment in your occupational health center, that will be go as a bio waste. You have used any syringes, you have used any medicines, or the medicine got expired. Those also will go in a biological waste. Okay, biomedical waste. Okay, fine. So here what it is telling, the rule, what the section is telling, there we have to arrange, effective arrangements shall be made in a factory for the treatment of waste and effluents due to the manufacturing process carried out. When you say waste, we talked about. And we have effluent. What are the different types of effluents? Types of effluents.
HTDS, LTDS,
Okay, low TDS, okay, low
ITDS, low TDS,
and
ITDS.
high TDS. Simply saying, we have process effluents and we have domestic effluents. Okay,
Influence.
when you say process effluents, which comes from our process, the water which is contaminated with our chemicals or any oils, etc. When you talk about domestic effluents, the water which comes from our offices, kitchens, toilets, etc. Okay, that is domestic effluents. This process effluents is treated in our ETPs, effluent treatment plants, and the domestic effluents are treated in STPs. Okay, sewage treatment plants. These two treatment processes are completely different. We'll discuss on those treatments also in future. Okay, for given a overview. So here the effective management in the sense, waste segregation. First of all, waste identification, segregation, then storage, then disposal. And here also effluent, properly collection of effluents without any spillages or leakages, etc., treatment and reuse. Nowadays most of the factories, they are having their own ETPs, but few of them, they used to send their waste and effluent, which means the solid, the liquids, they will send it to the authorized recyclers, or sometimes they have their own ETPs in the facility. They used to treat their effluent in the factory itself, and then later they use for this water for again in the process, or sometimes they use it for the garden. So here where these conditions are mentioned, so where, why only we have to use for garden, why it is for the process. So these conditions are clearly defined in your CFO, consent for operation, or consent to operation, or consent to operate. In North India, they used to call as CTO. In South, they used to call as CFO, consent for operation. In North, they call it as CTO, consent to operate. Okay, there they will clearly mention. So whatever the effluent which is generating after the treatment, either it will go to a again reusing in the process, or it needs to be used in the garden. Okay, that is called, they also call a zero liquid discharge. The state court may make rules or prescribe arrangements to be under the subsection 1, or requiring that arrangements made in accordance with the subsection 1 shall be approved by the authority as may be prescribed. When you say rules, we have hazardous waste management rules. Okay, where we use those rules to uh, dispose our waste. Then third one, ventilation temperature. So here also we need to have effective and suitable provision shall be made in every factory for securing and maintaining in every workroom. So wherever the people are working, there we have to maintain the proper ventilation temperature in place. So adequate ventilation by circulation of fresh air, and such temperatures will secure to workers therein or reasonable conditions of comfort and prevent injury to health. Okay. So here what the main requirement, we have to provide proper ventilation. Okay. And the second case, we have to maintain the workroom temperature in such a way that it will not, or people will not get injured. When I talk about walls and roofs shall be of such material and so designed that such temperature shall not be exceeded but kept as low as practicable. So here we have seen in the ventilation chapter, we have seen different types of ventilations. Okay, we have seen sawtooth roof type of ventilation. Okay, and also we have seen natural ventilation and mechanical ventilation. When you say natural ventilation, you will provide provisions or windows and doors so that the fresh air can enter and it can go away. Nowadays we'll have the not getting on the roofs of the sheds. There you have a, not the fan, turbo fan or turbo fan. Mm, I'm not get. I'm able to recall the name. It is circular in shape. We used to fix on the over the roofs so that it will take out the hot air. As we know, whenever the air gets hotter, so it will lose the density. It will become lighter. So it will have tendency to go top or the higher levels. So that automatically the fresh air comes in. So in such a case, these turbo fans, I'm not able to recall exact name. Those can be helpful to take out the hot air from the immediate place. Okay. Then where the nature of the work carried out in a factory involves or likely to involve the production of exclusively high temperatures, such adequate measures are prescribed shall be taken in to protect the workers themselves by separating the process which produces such temperatures from the workroom, by insulating the hot parts, or by the effective means. Okay. So basically, whenever there is a activity which your activity produces heat or temperature, where those surfaces has to be insulated. So you could see all the utility systems or utility pipelines are compulsory insulated. Okay, I'm stopping here. We have 3 seconds. After the break we